Hello and welcome to Jedi Jingle Maker. I hope you will subscribe, leave a comment, and hit the like button. So I hope you will join the fun. Now this is a video to simply tell you about the modifications I've done to the very first Firefly that I ever purchased, which is this FFST. It has a white ceruse finish, an ash body, and many other cool features to it, including a roasted maple neck and locking tuners on this one that actually worked great. So funny enough, great tuners on this one. On the other FFST I got, absolutely disastrous. So you never know what you're going to get, but easy either way to simply put on some new locking tuners. I want to run through the collection of things I've done, which has made this instrument one of my very favorite guitars. It plays like an absolute dream, and I can't imagine ever getting rid of it. I purchased it for roughly $200, probably another $350, $400 into it, and now I have got a beautiful machine that it holds tune, amazing level of tuning stability, and sounds so good. It's incredible. And I think with the features it's got, like the stainless steel and the roasted maple neck, it's going to last for a long time for me in this good condition. So in every way, an incredible guitar and well worth it. I'm so happy with how it turned out. All right, let's get right into it and talk about what I did. First things first, I was glad I didn't have to replace these tuners. Again, they held tune, but you might expect to have to do that if you buy one. You never know what you're going to get. I did take out both of the string trees. They were highly problematic with the tuning stability, and I left the one hole. I'm going to seal that up in the phase 2 modifications to this guitar. However, I put in a Graphtec string tree, lubricated it with graphite grease, and wow, perfect. I tried to get away without having string trees, but then I found out that these higher strings did chime out while I strummed chords, etc. So I did have to put in the string tree. But as long as you have it greased up and you have a good hard surface on it, it'll be relatively good for the use with the tremolo. This bone nut, I went in and carefully kind of chipped away at anything I could see in there that might have looked rough with the X-Acto blade very lightly. I also used the guitar strings to smooth out any rough edges and try to work to make sure I'd got it as smooth as possible. And then I put plenty of that graphite grease in there to lubricate it, and that is just a rock solid thing to do that costs just about nothing. I also went through and thoroughly cleaned this Rosewood fretboard, and if you can see in this light how beautiful this Rosewood fretboard is, you can really see the, why they call it Rosewood when you have a neck of this quality, believe it or not. For this price, it's hard to believe, but beautiful, beautiful neck. I'm going to roll the edges on this in a future modification, just slightly, which will make it even more playable. I also replaced the pickups with 3 Seymour Duncan pickups. These are the quarter pounders, the middle pickup, single coil quarter pounder Seymour Duncan pickups, which are very hot pickups. They're the staggered pole pieces, which give you more of a kind of classic voicing to it. And they're just very hot, overwound single coil pickups. I love them. In addition, the middle pickup is an RWRP, which means it's reverse wound 2 ways, which reduces 60 cycle hum in position 2 and 4 on the 5-way switch. I love the sound of them, but I think they're being affected by the electronics which I have in this guitar now, which were the existing Firefly electronics. The tone knobs really don't do much. I don't like the roll on the volume, and I think the capacitors are wrong. So I'm going to fix all that in my next phase 2 of this. I'm going to replace the electronics, so I hope you will subscribe and stay tuned for notifications when that video comes out in the coming months. And I think that'll improve the tone dramatically. In the meantime, look for all kinds of samples of how it sounds in shorts on Jedi Jingle Maker. I've released already quite a few shorts of me playing this through the Boss Katana 100, so you can see what it sounds like in a common situation. I also replaced the humbucker with this incredible Mark Holcomb Omega pickup, which is beyond hot. It is fire hot, and I love it. And I love the way it sounds. It is just a wonderful pickup. Very good for heavy tones. It sounds fantastic. I love it in every way. I also replaced the saddles, which I did not like. They were bent steel, with these roller saddles. These are Goiker roller saddles. By the way, links in the description to all the things which I am talking about here so that you can check them out through affiliate links on Amazon. These roller saddles look fantastic, but in addition to looking fantastic, I think they contribute greatly to the tuning stability when you have this tremolo, because the strings can very easily recover to their original position after you use that. And I found this thing holds great tuning stability even with the tremolo now. you have to kind of break that in a bit, but it didn't take long. Now, I replaced these knobs with a classic kind of Gibson Les Paul style knob that I like much more than the ones that were on there, those top hat classic knobs that they had on there. Replaced them with these, and I think they look pretty cool against that white pick guard. In addition, I took a close look at this jack and had to adjust it a bit so that it didn't bang up against the inside of the cavity there so that it would seat properly, but that was an easy mod to do. In addition to those other modifications and upgrades I did, I also found myself needing to replace the grounding wire to the Trem claw in here because it had been frayed a bit at some point, probably when they were manufacturing it. It didn't affect anything in terms of the electronics really, but the outside coating had been mostly worn off, and so that was an easy fix. I also adjusted the Trem in here, the claw, but the claw is difficult to get to. You have to take this off to get to the claw, unfortunately, but I adjusted the claw to get that tremolo to seat just perfectly even with the body. And if you can see, that's kind of what you want to have. So final thoughts. As you can clearly see, this guitar is absolutely beautiful. It defies logic that this is even possible for the amount of money invested to this point. Now you might say, why would you invest $350, $400, whatever, into a guitar that only costs you $180? Well, the reason you do that is because the $180 part is the foundation for all the rest that allows you to customize it. And if the foundation is good, then what you end up with is a professional level instrument in terms of its stability and performance, with the more expensive parts added in exactly to your specification, as opposed to getting even slightly more expensive guitars, which, let's face it, don't always come with the pickups you want, or the features you want, or the specs you want. This guitar has every spec I want. There's nothing I really want to change about that other than to continue to modify it and tweak it and make it even more incredible. So this was an amazing experience for me. I learned many things. I got to replace 3 pickups, and now it's even inspired me to go in and replace the electronics, which I've never done before, but I'm going to learn how to do it. And one of the reasons for buying several Fireflies was to have platforms that I could learn how to work on my guitars. I've got many guitars that I use on my recordings. I hope you'll check them out. Go check out the Orange album on any of the music sites, as well as an album I have called Endless and several others. So I've got lots of music I make using the instruments I highlight here. I'm in the process of recording a song that has this guitar as the solo, and it just is incredible for that purpose, for soloing. The pickup sounds so crisp and the highs are so just crystal clear and right at the right place that I've fallen in love with this guitar. Absolutely fallen in love with this guitar. And I plan to be playing it in Jedi Jingle Maker songs for years to come. So hey, if you like these kinds of videos, I hope you'll give it a thumbs up. Also leave a comment. And we'll see you at the next one as I review many other guitars, including the FFST that I have here, the Les Paul Firefly, as well as the beautiful Lucille style guitar from Firefly. So lots of guitars to check out on the channel. Thanks for watching Jedi Jingle Maker.